All right, just a thought. You know, it was this with REM. This thing up in the left hand, that's Saturn. Here's the cube, that's in the Earth. Don't know what the word means. Don't really care. I had to put something up here. You know, this is just talk. You know, this all comes down to a bunch of stuff. Mankind is at the best he's ever going to be today, at this point in history. Because mankind will never be as good as he was 2 weeks ago because we're on a decline. The system is falling apart. And as the system falls apart, mankind will become more unstable, the planet becomes more unstable, it's all linked together. But you know, I was just thinking, you know, when did things go wrong with, like, let's take the movies, or I was watching sports. At what point were they able to convince people that you're going to give me money to watch me, I'm going to treat you like shit, and then you're going to like it? And if I happen to be in sports, not only will I never call you, I'll never shake your hand, I'll snub you, but you're going to wear my jersey with my number on it. At what point did Hollywood convince the people that you need to pay them to take time out of your day to go watch them so that they can make a bunch of movie, parade around in front of you, and treat you like shit? You want me to watch you perform, okay? You need to pay me. That's like the babysitter paying you to watch the kid. This doesn't make any sense. It's backwards. You want me to watch you perform. Good. What's in it for me? Aside from watching you perform, because that's not enough. Obviously, because you demand money from me. But really, I should be demanding money from you, because you acting is not something that I can barter with. I can't say, oh, well, I watched Jerry Seinfeld, what's that worth? It's worth nothing. Yet you get hard cash currency from me watching you. The system is fucking backwards. You need to pay me to watch you. If I like you, I'll see that you get something in the mail during the holidays. This is completely backwards. Mankind could take this back so fast if he just used his effing head. Because it's all based around money. Because money and the love of it, not money itself, it's just a form of trade. The love of it, the greed of it, is what turns to the negative. Before they had money, people paid their bills with chickens, so that's always just been the way that things have been done. This other group stepped up, said, look, you ain't going to pay your bills with chickens anymore, and you're going to use this metallic Tinder disc, and we'll tell you what it's worth. And for whatever country doesn't go along with that, we'll just come in and conquer you and make you do that anyway. Modern example of that would have been Iraq. Hussein said he wasn't going to sell oil to anybody that uses the dollar. Well, the euro had come in at that point, and the dollar wasn't as strong as the euro, and it would have bankrupted the country. Not that we're not there now, but then that was a weapon of mass destruction. And so what happened? We went in there, beat them into submission, and said, guess what? You're back. You're using the dollar again. Okay? So really, it comes down to that. TV and sports, you start cutting these fucking sponsors off, bye-bye. There'll be none of that, because them guys live and breathe for every penny they can make. That's why when they say, you know, this banking scandal, it is a scandal because it's a lie. Would you people listen to me? The guy that took off with what, I don't know how much he took off, what, $50 billion or whatever the hell it was. The guy, look, the media said the guy's name was Bernie Madoff. Does not anybody get this? Bernie Madoff. He made off with your money. That ain't his name. It's a name the fucking press gave some guy. He doesn't exist. Bernie Madoff. Really? What grade are we in? And then you got this other guy, Creflo Dollar. He made $68 million last year preaching about what? A false god. He's still a god nonetheless, but he's not the real one that you think he is. $68 million. Would you give money to a guy named Creflo Dollar? Nobody's last name is Dollar. Who's his kid? 50 Cent? Are you kidding me? Then there's a broad here in Chicago. She's a bitch. Excuse the language, it happens. She made $14 million. Her name is Bambi McMillion. She's on WJYS along with Creflo Dollar. You remember the Christian TV station that had the Saturn? And it said The Way? Yeah, you still think you're worshiping the right God? You're worshiping a God, but you're not worshiping the one that you think in your head. This planet is on a dead-end track to a dead-end civilization, and this planet is going to wind up looking just like Mars and Venus and all the other ones that are barren. We just happen to be the last in line. I'm going to do some other vids from a completely different angle. Saturn is still at the center of this thing, but from a different angle, he's showing you something from a long, long time ago. That it's a Kabbalistic tree of life. I don't know how it works. I know it's a schematic. That I know, because I understand basic electronics. And by looking at it, I can show you where the Earth is, where Saturn is, and where we're cut off from everybody else. Because that, what they call the tree of life, goes from the tiniest to the largest, and including you all the way up to the entire everything. So, you know, I was just trying to give you an example by just giving you some common everyday things that people never think about. Hollywood convinced people that you need to pay them this exorbitant amount of money so that they can snub you? How the fuck did mankind get so twisted around? Yeah, all mankind's got to do is say, we're not buying no more movies, we're not watching TV, and we're not going to any sporting events. Bang. Shit would start changing, and I mean quick. But because, and not all, so don't nobody get offended, most of the younger generation, and I'm not going to put an age limit on it because if I do, it's going to insult somebody. A lot of the younger people walking around are empty vessels. They have a soul. They were born with the same thing that everybody else was. They just never turned it on. Not only do they not believe that there's a creator, they don't believe that there's this guy, the cube, Mr. Cube, the blockhead. So this guy, the blockhead, Saturn, he ain't got to do shit. He just got to let people just be themselves. Because he never really did anything wrong to begin with. He just gave people the opportunity to do things wrong. See, that's really the story there. You know, and he believes in doing everything by the book. That's why the devil always makes you sign a contract. So, obviously the guy plays by some rules. If you're too stupid to read the fine print, there's an old saying, the small print taketh away what the large print giveth. You'll find that out when you buy a used car. Trust me. Been down that road. So, I just thought I'd bring it up, aside from all the other videos I made, how twisted things are, where we pay somebody to treat us like shit. Funny how the world works like that. You know, quickly before my time runs out on here, you know, there's a saying, and it's very true, but it's true on a different level than what you're used to understanding. No good deed goes unpunished. That does not mean that if you do somebody a favor, you're going to get screwed. What it does mean on a different level is, I don't want you to do good things here. I like it when things go negatively. So, if you're going to make my job harder, I'm going to make your job harder. We're told in the Bible, in Isaiah, that the world that we live in is backwards and upside down. Seinfeld always talks about, Jerry Seinfeld, the Bizarro world. He's always talking about that, and people that don't understand or study don't understand what he's referencing, because that's where we are, is in the Bizarro world. Where everything here is upside down and backwards. So when you look at the number 1973, if you flip that upside down and backwards, you get L, 6, and 1. You know, I'm just giving you a very simplistic explanation of that. But this is crazy. Everything here is upside down and backwards. I'm paying you to treat me like shit, when you should be paying me to treat you like shit. If I don't like you, I'm not going to give you nothing. But the system, it's cracked, it's broken, it's fucked up and warped. You know? People are slowly waking up, but not at a rate fast enough to save what's already been put into process over thousands and thousands of years. But, you know, when they talk about zombies, they're pretty much talking about people that are walking around without any brains. You know, they're not active. They're just neutral nothings. Billions of them. Anyway, gotta go. That's my 10 minutes.